We're looking, the fields is assembled. The front row is Jonathan Lister on pole position on the right in cart number 4. Tom Dix, second row of Steve Brown in cart number 1 and Stephen Hicks, cart 21. Dan Healy, Joe Holmes, Dan Truman, Tyler Mays, Jay Elliott and Ed Bars is your top 10. 13 on the grid for Elite. We could do with a few more. Out of turn 1, will they all make it through cleanly? Yes, they will, and John Lisseter's got 2 or 3 cart lengths on Tom Dix as Steve Brown in the white lid tries to go round the outside of Tom Dix and gets run out wide. Stephen Hicks comes through. Joe Holmes on his bumper, loading into Inkermans. 3 wide out of there, will filter down to a cart width by the bottom of the hill. On the back straight then, it's Lisseter from Dix, Hicks, that's funny, Holmes, Brown, Healy, Bars, Truman, Tyler Mays, Ian Blake, Jay Elliott, Pete O'Connor and Brandon Williams rounds out the field into turn 1 and out, and it's a good lead for John Lisseter as they head up to Christmas Corner, and it's Stephen Hicks to the inside of Tom Dix and through, and Joe Holmes takes a piece of that as well and goes through, and Dix is finding himself down in 4th place ahead of Steve Brown. Healy on his bumper, trying to avoid clipping those curves, but it's almost unavoidable in Zulu. Then it's a gap to Truman, Bars, gap to Blake, Tyler Mays, Jay Elliott, Brandon Williams. Williams hoping for a good grid slot, but he's at the back of the field and losing out to Pete O'Connor. Comfortable lead for John Lisseter, and he really needs a good result here. The battle is on for second, and it's Joe Holmes down the inside of Stephen Hicks. The track is drying out, and is dry now. The grass might be a bit slick though. Brown, the agricultural over the inside curb there to get the spot, but he's done it. Healy on his bumper into the boot section. Round and away. And I don't think Jonathan Lister is going to be able to hold off Joe Holmes, who's motoring here in heat number 3 in the same way as he did in heat number 2. He did a 44.1 on that last lap, 0.6 of a second faster than John Lisseter, and Lisseter almost opens the door for him. Stephen Hicks arrives, and it's a 3-way dice for the lead. The question is, can John Lisseter and Stephen Hicks hang on to Joe Holmes, who's flying here into the toe of the boot? And it's Holmes, Lisseter, Hicks, gap to Healy, ahead of Brown. Gap then to Truman, Tom Dix. And the rest of the field, Jay Elliott, Pete O'Connor, Brandon Williams, and Ian Blake has dropped to the tail of the field. And Lisseter and Hicks going at it hard over second place, but Holmes is clear now. Bars has been off the road. And it's Healy in 4th place ahead of Steve Brown. It's difficult to know where to look, where to point the camera as the field begins to split up. So we're midway through, and it's Joe Holmes leading by 0.9 of a second ahead of Stephen Hicks and John Lisseter. So Hicks through to second place, and this battle may all come back together over second as Healy is towing Steve Brown. Ed Bars heading into pit lane with some kind of mechanical, I think. A deranged front nose for Ed Bars. He heads to the garage. There's a penalty for cart number 9, Dan Healy. For what, I know not. As he tries to find a way past John Listener. Listener shows him the outside. Can he make a good exit? Just about hangs on to the spot. Healy down the inside and is through. Steve Brown is trying to go with him, but it just narrows up too quickly. So it's Hicks comfortably in second place behind leader Joe Holmes, who's out to 1.1 seconds in front, and that's extending. And Joe Holmes is looking rapid. And I fancy him for the final. I'm just saying. Commentator's curse and all that. So Healy with a penalty, pulling clear of John Listener. Brown's got a run on John up to Christmas corner and is through. It'd be interesting to see what the grid is. Small field. It doesn't matter as much as it might. And there is opportunities to pass here. We've seen that. Christmas corner being chief among them. Into the boot, the toe. Also into Winkerman's, now that it's a hairpin and not a fast right-hander. Another lap in the boots, and Holmes' lead now, 1.7 seconds as he takes another 0.2 of a second out of Stephen Hicks. Dan Healy took 0.3 of a second out of Hicks on that last lap. That might be in the slipstream now, yes he is. Just about there, 0.6 of a second at the line. I think it's closer than that now. It's a couple of kart lengths. Oh, fuck. Bear with us as we try to reconnect. Come on.